Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel and this is Championship Transfer Update episode 11. I know we went yesterday, but there is plenty to talk about in terms of transfers, done deals into the Championship. I'm going to go through all of those done deals. We'll try and figure out a bit about the player if we know already, or do some research. Is it a good deal for the selling club, the buying club, the player? Remember, we will not talk about rumours. So if you're here to hear about Eze, that hasn't gone through yet, so we won't be talking about that one just yet. And something we need to do is talk about one of our dearly departed. We do mention our dearly departed, and we've got to start with a Leeds United story, because even though it's not 100% through, I've checked the Leeds website, nothing up there. It looks like this is a done deal. Rodrigo to Leeds, a Brazilian-born Spanish international striker. That is the official Valencia Twitter. Their preliminary agreement for the transfer of Rodrigo Moreno at the expense of completing all the documentation, etc. We wish him all the best in his new stage of his career at Leeds. So we laughed and we joked, didn't we, that Bielsa would go up to the Premier League and just go with Pat Bamford up top there. Again, I don't have full idea on the fee. High 20 millions, I've heard, but as I always say on here with transfer fees, sometimes it's just blooming guesswork, isn't it? And everyone tells me, oh, it wasn't this fee. Well, if you have an accurate source for the fee, link it up, quote it. If your source is the kitman's brother's, sister's, auntie's dog, then don't bother. And we'll just talk about the player, and we'll say that Rodrigo, that is him last season, playing mainly up top there, 28 starts for Valencia in Spain, played in the Champions League there, a couple of goals, couple of assists, in La Liga as well, goals and assists. Remember, a Leeds United forward under Bielsa is not a typical penalty box striker, required to play with their back to goal, join in, play around the corner, trigger pressing, bring in wide players, etc. It's not a typical striker's job. So you would assume this guy has been identified to do just that, and we will see how he goes with our dearly departed Leeds United. Rodrigo into Leeds looks like a good deal for Leeds. They needed a forward. We'll see what the fee is before we can judge that. And Valencia, well, they've always been quite happy to sell players upwards, haven't they? If Leeds is upwards of Valencia nowadays, from those great days under Rafa, with David Villa, etc. Although they may be two different eras. I'm conflating there. Pablo Aimar, remember him as well. Well, what a player. Moving on to Derby County, and Matt Clark has returned for another season on loan. That'll probably annoy fans of Leeds as well. Brighton seeming very willing to give out a centre-half to Derby, but not to Leeds there. He comes for another season, 23 years old. I know about him because we had him at Ipswich. Went the other way to Pompey with the Adam Webster deal there. And then Brighton and down to Derby. So this is going to be second full season on loan. As you can see there, Derby's reigning player of the season, Clark, seals Rams return. So I'm afraid this is going to have to go in the no-brainer department. If they could do the deal, Brighton happy for him to go out. Reigning player of the year. It's a loan deal. Presumably just a little tweak on the contract. Back he comes. He knows the club. He knows the players. Absolute no-brainer. Matt Clark gets the thumbs up back to Derby County. John Terrell is another player making a return to Birmingham. This isn't quite the same thing as coming back a year after winning the player of the season there. You can see there, 25-year-old Spaniard goes in from Hull City. The issue with Terrell being a returning player to Birmingham stems there, as you can see. The Spaniard previously spent a successful season on loan with Blues from Arsenal during 15-16 under Gary Rowett, making 38 appearances, 8 goals, 4 assists, so very, very successful. Players Player of the Season and Supporters Player of the Season, and goal of the season. Was that against Ipswich? I remember John Terrell scoring an absolute blinding volley against Ipswich. That might well have been. Someone let me know in the comment there. Went to Hull for £3 million, 56 appearances there. Born in Spain to an Spanish father and an English mother. Youth at Barca and Arsenal there you can see. Last season, not a great deal of action there with Hull. 8 starts, 1 goal, but in the League Cup there. But is there a Spanish link to Carranca? I don't know. That might be a bit of 2 and 2 together-y from me there. But certainly a link with the club. Attacking midfielder, you think Carranca will play 4-2-3-1. So Terrell will go in the layer ahead there. Maybe centrally in the 10 position, but you can see who scored has him down. Attacking midfielder, right, left, centre. So a useful player. In terms of the fee, is it a free or is it an undisclosed free agent? There we go. So that looks like a good deal for everybody. Off the wages, you would assume it was a decent deal if he went for £3 million back when Hull was spending money. So probably good for Hull to get him off the books. Good return for Birmingham. Good for the player. I think that's a thumbs up all round. John Terrell back to Birmingham. There is Morgan Gibbs-White, who's gone in at Swansea there, 20 years old. Wolves, sort of young player coming through there. And as you can see there, sees the attacking midfielder reunite with Swans head coach Steve Cooper. The pair having worked together in the England age grade setup. And I believe also, Rhian Brewster, Conor Gallagher, Mark Guay all had worked with Steve Cooper before. So that is proving a very nice route. Bristol City have done something similar, haven't they? Bringing in England representative staff there. So Gibbs-White comes in. And mentioning Conor Gallagher, I wonder, does Gibbs-White fill that attacking midfield position? Who scored have got him a bit deeper there in his Europa League appearances. Forgive me, I don't know what system Nuno's playing with Wolves these days. But will he be the number 10 or will he be a bit further back? I don't know. Highly rated, known to Steve Cooper. If Wolves want him, happy for him to go out. That seems a thumbs up from their point of view. Thumbs up for Swansea. Thumbs up for the player. He's going to get some football, you would assume, with the Swans, with a manager he's familiar with. All lovely stuff. Also in Wales, here is Geordie Osei-Tutu, who is a right back. But as you're going to see, he can play all the way up the right flank and did so last year on loan for Bochum in Bundesliga 2. We have a conversation here on the channel often about where does... We've probably got the Championship ahead of Bundesliga 2, but a lot of players, particularly into Norwich and Huddersfield under Stuart Webber, have come from Bundesliga 2 into the Championship and done well. He's obviously in on loan from Arsenal there. I don't know whether we got... 21 years old. Harris hadn't been happy at right back there. He tried Sanderson there on loan, hadn't he? So Osei-Tutu comes in. And you can see there, looking at the positions, 10 appearances in a more attacking midfield role there with goals, 5 goals and 2 assists in there as well. So he's going to be expected certainly to get forward. He's down on the Cardiff website as a right back, so certainly going to be an attacking right back there, joining Kiefer Moore as the second signing in for Cardiff. This is Thomas Kaminski, who has gone in to Blackburn in goal. Undisclosed fee, so we don't know what that is. Again, if you think you know the fee, please quote me your source when you tell me what it is, so I can go and just fact check that. 300 appearances and Champions League experience in his homeland, and a winner as well there. 2 Belgian league titles, 3 Belgian Super Cups, and loan spells there in Cyprus and in Denmark, where he won the Danish Superliga and Danish Cup. So seems an experienced guy who's won stuff in Europe. They picked out David Raya, who'd been a good goalkeeper. He went off to Brentford, didn't he? It was Christian Walton on loan last season. So you would think Kaminski's going to go straight into the team there. That looks decent. I know nothing about the sending club Ghent, but Blackburn needed a keeper, and depending on what the deal is, because it's undisclosed, we don't know. I'm not going to guess. That probably is a nice looking signing. Rovers looking to improve from mid-table, just pushing into the outskirts of those playoff positions. Jason McCarthy has returned to Wycombe Wanderers for a 4th time. By God, he's actually there full time now. He was there last year on loan from Millwall. He previously won the Supporters Player of the Year as a loanee from Saints in 15-16. And again after leaving Barnsley in 2018-19. So very, very familiar to the club. Reminds me of Daryl Murphy at Ipswich, was on loan about 10 times before he signed fully. He will likely be the first choice right back there at Wycombe Wanderers. So that is your latest Championship transfer update. Episode 11 now. 7 players in. Some interesting ones as well. We've got a dearly departed one to Leeds. Get your comments in. Loan players, Gibbs-White, Clark, McCarthy and Terrell returning full-time. A new keeper for Blackburn. Loanee right back who looks like he can attack well for Cardiff as well. You can support the channel here over on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit like. Get your comments in on any of these players. Buying club, selling club. Have you seen this player before? Again, if you're going to disagree or agree with transfer marks, fees, please quote your sources. We get all sorts of people coming up with all sorts of figures in the comments here. And the truth is, often we never know about transfer fees, do we? You can join our Fantasy League at the channel there. There is the code T5QBR0. You can support me on Patreon for $3. That's pretty much a donation. Why would you donate? Well, you're donating to a fellow football lover who is trying to make a go of this here on YouTube. But for $5 on Patreon, you get that lovely warm feeling in your heart, and you also get some bonus content, my Patreon only Q&As and my Patreon only vlogs. All of this stuff goes down a podcast feed on Acast or iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever you get your podcast. Just type in the Benjamin Bloom Football Show and you get all of this as audio if you want to listen in the car or whatever you can't watch. You don't obviously get to see the lovely slideshows that I put together, but there you go. And for those people who run small businesses or big businesses indeed, we're now opening up to sponsorship as well for the channel. Any inquiries, Benjamin Bloom Music, 2 M's in there, at gmail.com. So do let me know if you're interested in that. But as I always say, this is not all about me, it is about the football. So get your comments in on any of those transfers, buying club, selling club player, how you think the players will sit in. That's episode 11. Now we're trying to cover every player in and out of the Championship. We're getting there, but it's ramping up as we close in on the start of the new seasons. Lots of deals being done. No doubt we might reach 15 or 20 episodes. This is episode number 11. So share and comment, tell your friends, and I'll see you on the next video. Over and out.